Hey everyone, my name is Luis. I'm the country manager of YGG Pilipinas. And for today's Crypto Day, a little bit late, I know, I'm going to try to do something slightly different. Instead of talking about the news, I thought I'd do a quick walking video and kind of just talk about my NFT art journey through the years. Just for the folks who have maybe never have heard this story. I started in cryptocurrency back in 2014, so it's been about 8 years for me. And for the first 3 or 4 of those years, almost all of my time was spent mostly just looking for investors for our crypto startup, which was based in the Philippines, of course. Now, if you've ever tried to raise money as a crypto founder in the Philippines, you probably know that it's actually quite challenging. You're not really going to spend a lot of time with investors from the region because they don't really know much about this stuff and they're not really comfortable making these types of high-risk investments. Instead, you'll probably try to raise your money overseas. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to spend as much time as I possibly could in San Francisco because, you know, back in the early days, that was kind of where all of this stuff was really centered. And I would try to stay as long as I could, try to get as many meetings as I could, try to meet as many people as I possibly could, which was quite challenging, you know, because we were kind of really on a budget and, you know, San Francisco is pretty expensive. So what I would do was I'd try to sleep in the cheapest possible places I could find. I've stayed in dormitories where there were 30 guys to a room, for example, everyone in bunk beds, almost like a military barracks. I've stayed in like really seedy hotels in the Tenderloin district in San Francisco where you couldn't actually, or at least I couldn't, sleep on the mattress itself. I had to sleep on top of the blanket because I thought that there were bed bugs in the mattress. So it was super itchy and I couldn't sleep if, you know, my skin actually came into contact with the mattress itself. So I'd have to sleep on the outside, on top of the blanket. So I've been through some weird stuff in the because I was trying to, you know, raise money because I didn't really have much of a budget. I've been through all of that. And one of my secret formulas for my secret strategies for saving money as a Filipino startup founder in San Francisco was I try to attend as many Bitcoin meetups as I possibly could. And the reason for that was because if you were at a Bitcoin meetup, maybe on a Thursday night, it was usually Thursdays, and nearly every week there was one, you would get free pizza and free beer because, you know, there was usually a sponsor. Usually it was Coinbase or, you know, kind of one of the big crypto brands from SF. And that was really useful if you were the kind of person who was trying to save money, because that means that one Thursday night, that's one night a week out of a week that you are not paying for your dinner. You're, you know, just getting free pizza and free beer. And I remember one night, one Thursday night, it was at a bar called El Rio in San Francisco. I was enjoying my free pizza and my free beer, kind of just hanging out with other crypto people there. And a small team of startup guys kind of approached me and they said, "Hey, aren't you that crypto pop guy from Twitter?" Now, I was, of course, that crypto pop guy from Twitter. I had been spending the first half of that year kind of making these cartoons about Bitcoin and, you know, the crypto industry and stuff like that, just to kind of make people laugh. I thought it was kind of a cute way to take the edge off the technical jargon of blockchain and just kind of, you know, just do something slightly entertaining. And yeah, so I'd been doing that for a while. They recognized me for it and they said, we're working on a new Ethereum project that's playing around with smart contracts, and we're trying to make a completely digital trading card collection that features the artwork of, you know, artists from within the crypto community. So that made sense to me on I guess on a creative level because, you know, I was an artist in the crypto industry. I wasn't particularly good, but I guess I was okay. And I'd never really done anything in Ethereum before. So that sounded like a kind of fun little thing to try. And honestly, because I'd never actually made any money from my art at that point, I figured if I made any non-zero amount from this project, that's probably already a decent outcome, right? So I contributed 3 of my pieces to this project. And as luck would have it, by the end of that year, this was 2017, don't forget, That startup had already gone bankrupt or shut down. I never heard from them again. And I thought that was the end of that story. So obviously it wasn't. And the next stage in it was a real life changer. Fast forward to 2021. It's March, the pandemic has happened, the lockdown has happened. I'm not even living in Metro Manila anymore. I've moved to La Union, and that's kind of where I've been hiding out during the height of COVID. I wake up one Saturday morning in March, and my Twitter inbox is exploding with DMs from people I've never met, and I don't know who they are, but they're all asking me the same thing. They're all asking me, hey, are you one of the Curio Cards artists from 2017? And I actually don't even remember what Curio Cards is at this point, because it had been a long time, and as far as I knew, that project had actually failed. I mean, I never heard from the founders again. But it turns out that there had been some blockchain forensics going on, and they had discovered that the smart contracts that they had written for Curio Cards officially made that collection the very first NFT art collection the world had ever seen. First ever minted on the Ethereum blockchain. And that made it really special. It made it kind of like a historic milestone for NFTs. And remember, in 2021, NFTs were really at the height of their popularity. So Curio Cards, the collection, went on sale on OpenSea for the first time in 4 years. And if you look up their page now, it has over 38,000 Ethereum in total sales volume. At the height of Ethereum's price, I guess that puts it at about $120 million, which, by the way, is about $30 million more than the entire country of the Philippines art industry makes on any given year. We also had another historic milestone later on in 2021. This was in October. We became the first NFT art collection to be sold at Christie's for Ethereum. And at the time, I think we sold one full set of the Curio Cards trading cards for over $1 million. So it was a really big milestone. And possibly the thing that has affected me the most, or at least the 7 artists who were originally in Curio Cards, was the fact that we continue to receive royalties for our work every month to this day. So we're going to be over 5 years old now, and we're still getting 1% royalties for all of the secondary sales. And that is an amazing passive income stream for someone who, you know, kind of started mostly just doodling stuff and publishing on Twitter. I never had any idea that this would be kind of where I'd end up. I don't quite know what to make of this whole experience. Was I lucky? Yes, for sure. Did I deserve any of it? I'm not sure. That part I don't think I'll ever really get a satisfactory answer for. But one thing I am sure, and one thing that I suppose this experience really proves to me, is that, you know, crypto and blockchain and all of this stuff, it's pure chaos sometimes, but sometimes it can also create miracles for the people that participate in it. And I guess that's kind of the reason why I've been doing Cryptoday, why I've been working so hard on the Crypto Pop Art Guild, and why I'm the country manager of YGG right now, because I'm trying to connect as many people as I possibly can with the income opportunities that crypto can create. And a lot of people are interested in this stuff, but they don't really know how to do it safely. You know, there's a lot of dangers of scams or hacks or things like that. And it all comes down to better education and better information. So that's kind of become one of my life missions, mostly as a result of how fortunate I've become just by being at the right place at the right time. So if you find Cryptoday useful, if you find YGG Pilipinas worth following and subscribing to, I do suggest that you do. I'd really love it if you followed our updates. Maybe you can also make some of that miraculous chaos work for you. Thanks everyone for watching. Catch you again next week.